What's going on, guys? Anthony here from MarketChartWatch. Today we have huge economic news that is causing some insane movement in the aftermarket trading, and tomorrow is going to be one of the craziest days in the market I think we're going to see in some time. We'll talk about it. We'll see what the move's going to do, what it's going to imply. So what just happened is we noted that China and the USA had announced a trade deal at the Geneva Convention. And if we look at the futures contracts on the E-mini, right, so these trade on Saturdays, and so we can look at them both after hours and on the weekends, you can see that that move immediately brought us a 1.35% increase in after hours trading. So this is absolutely huge. If we look at CNBC Finance, we can see that the futures are up almost 2% on the S&P, up 2% on NASDAQ, and up about 1% on the Dow, so about a 500-point move in that direction. This is incredible, okay? So what does that mean for our index here on a broad scale, looking all the way back here at like 2019 up till 2025? Well, something that I want to point out is that the move from our highest of highs to the lowest of lows was about 21%, okay? And we have so far, let's take a look here. Computer's being weird. So far, we have made up 17% of that 23%. We're about 5% off from our all-time highs. And so if we look at this move just now, that move brought us an additional 1%, okay, give or take. So now we're just 4% off of our highs, which is pretty amazing. Now, if we take an even deeper dive and we look at the past couple day chart, you can see that we are right now inside of a fair value gap. And what have I told you guys is that anytime we're inside of a fair value gap, we're going to try and break out to either the support or resistance and make a new directional change. And so if we look here, if we were to add that 1.35% right now, it's going to put us about right here. So the market, if nothing changes, opens right here tomorrow morning. Now, things always change, but that means we've already blasted out of that fair value gap. We've broken our previous highs. And if you look here, if we actually take a look to see where that 1.35% puts us, it puts us at one of our highest highs in the past couple of weeks. And all we would really need is an additional 1% move tomorrow in the direction of favor for this to throw us back up into our highest highs, okay? So what am I saying here? I'm saying that pre-market, we have already moved 1.3%. Now, tomorrow's implied move, which I'll show you in a second, would put us above this previous high. And if that were the case, the only place we could go is up to the point of the new highest high. So what is the market actually factoring in? Well, we can take a look at that. For tomorrow's 0512 0 DTE call and put option, we're looking at a strike price of 564.34, so 564. We're going to buy the ask for the call at 393, and we're going to buy the put at 346. So there's a premium to the upside, and that puts us at about a 1.11% implied move. Now, we have to add that implied move to what's already gone on in the futures contracts. So that 1.11 implied move is going to be on top of the 1.35 move that's happened in the after hours contracts. So if we look at that, that's give or take, we'll go on the soft side, 2.5%. Okay, so 2.5% right there. That puts us back into our channel. And once we break into that channel, the only place that we're going to be going is back up into the channel, right? It wants to fill the gap to find resistance. So if we're going to start, let's get our arrows out. If we break back into this channel at this 2.5% mark, the only place we're going to start to meet resistance is right here before rebounding back down. Okay, that's the only place. And if we look at our chart, That puts us back near a middle zone of our highest highs ever of the SP 500, or really the total stock market. And so what this means is this move tomorrow could be huge. And the reason that I say that is because once we break into this zone of the 1.5, okay, so we did the 1.3, okay? This is going to blow through people's stop orders or their limit orders. Options contracts are going to either get initiated, right, or called away. And so that is going to lead to a positive feedback loop of more buying and selling just based on where the options contracts were from Friday evening at close. So whenever we have big economic news like this, big things will happen in a positive feedback loop because orders get automatically triggered. Okay. Now, once those orders get automatically triggered, again, there's more buying and selling. That creates more push to the upside, and that further puts us into that trend channel. So my prediction for tomorrow is we've already done this move here. Okay. And the market has already implied that we're going to get into somewhere around here. Now, what I suspect is going to happen is some sort of insane rally if we actually get continued news that pushes us to the top of this trend channel. Now, are we going to have a move that big in one day tomorrow of 3 to 4% move? Maybe. What's more than likely is we're going to have a move of about 2%. Okay. So what the market makers have predicted, they couldn't predict the future. They couldn't predict the trade deal with China, but they're going to be wrong tomorrow. That's a fact because they've already made the move in after hours trading. But I think tomorrow we're going to have some sort of move to the upside, give or take between 2 and probably 3.5%, 4%. So this will be incredible. Now, given that fact, if we zoom in on the large scale timeline here, okay, we're looking at like a 2-year chart here. If we get ourselves to that point of, 2 to 4%, so above 2.5%, if we get above 2.5%, there really is no big point of resistance above this 2.5% mark. There really is no resistance up until about right here at 6,000 and about 61.30, give or take. So our highest highs. So if we get above this point of resistance, there is nothing stopping us from going the additional 5 and 6% to our highest highs. So tomorrow, 2 to 4% move. 2.5 puts us in an area where we have a huge trend channel. And all we need to get back to those recent highs is another 8% move. So we've already made back up 17%. 8% is not much to go. And so because of these trade deals, if more continue, I don't see how we don't find our way back to these recent highs. We have to at least test them first before coming back down. That's what I think is going to happen. So anyways, you guys better watch the markets tomorrow. It's probably going to be pretty insane. This is the stuff I love. Volatility is going to be off the charts. Play wisely.